He should be in the office in Lab 1. But how can I go in? The door is closed. I see. The two rooms are connected via a ventilation shaft. Maybe I can sneak in through there. So the key really was here. Some people already knew this trick for a while, but I wasn't one of them. Last week I watched a video of Kapfen where this trick was mentioned. After that I spent some time to analyze this game mechanic. In this video I will present my findings. It is split into 3 parts. You have already seen the first part, where I show you one application of this game mechanic. In the second part I will show you what you can do and what the limits of the crawling modus are. In the last part I show you different pathways you can build. There are two different kinds of tunnels. One has a transparent block above the tunnel and the other one a solid one. I will use a piston as a transparent one and brick as a solid an example. I differentiate these two tunnels because they behave differently. The tunnel with a transparent block is easy to enter. You just have to wear an elytra and then is in front of the tunnel. Press the forward key button and jump 3 times. You should be able to enter the tunnel without a problem. The solid block above the one-high tunnel makes everything a bit more difficult. Players get drawn to places with 2 blocks of air on top of each other, if they are inside such a tunnel. They also get drawn to places with 2 transparent blocks on top of each other. This force only has a reach of 1.5 blocks. Since you naturally entered the tunnel from a place with 2 air blocks above each other, you need to sprint to overcome that. As you can see with the particles. If there are too many pillars of transparent blocks around you, even sprinting won't help you, as I demonstrate you right now. At the moment I am sprinting. I can't go forward. Of course you can make a tunnel of the first kind lead into a tunnel of the second kind. I enter the tunnel normally, and now I need to sprint to go in the tunnel of the second kind. But if I want to go back, it goes without a problem. And I also can make a one-way street out of that tunnel by replacing the 2 blocks at the intersection with transparent blocks. So I can't go in that direction. I get forced out of it even with sprinting. But on the other hand, I can go back. Inside the tunnel you can move almost the same as outside of the tunnel. You can sprinting works, jumping works, walking in all four directions works. Only sneak when you start sneaking, you start to stand up temporarily. And if the block above you is solid, you start to take suffocation damage. If you log out and relog again, then you not only stand up temporarily but permanently, so you have to mind the blocks around you. Something nice to know is that while walking inside this tunnel you are in a mode between flying and walking. That's at least what I think. The reason for that assumption is that you can't get hurt by the ceiling, which you would if you were walking, but you cannot fire rockets inside the tunnel, which you could while flying. I mean, accelerating yourself with rockets and not placing them on floors. And don't get tricked, the speed is exactly the same while walking inside the tunnel as if you're walking outside the tunnel. Even walking, sprinting, walking on soul sand, and everything is the same. It just looks faster inside the tunnel. Inside the one high tunnel you can interact normally with all blocks around you. First I want to mention mining. The only thing you have to think about while mining is that you can't mine the block above you, since you get drawn to this place if you get too near. The trick to get out of this is you make a 3 high gap that you can jump, then you make a triple jump. It doesn't always work on first try. Then you start turning, walking backwards, and fill the place above you with bricks again. You can interact with redstone components, blocks with inventories, and everything as always, as if you were outside of the tunnel. Here I demonstrate that. The redstone works, block with inventories works, and also fire and water works the same, and lava, but here you can drown in one high water streams, which is quite funny. So that is everything I tested. Now let's go to the third part, namely the paths. If you stay on the same level with the same ceiling, it doesn't really matter what form the tunnel has. Therefore, you can build a tunnel which goes straight or makes turns or branches off. But of course, you don't want to only stick to the same height. There are different ways to go up and down while keep continuing walking inside the one high tunnel. The following ones are the ones I came up with. Making a stair of half slabs works as long as you make the ceiling no more than 1.5 blocks high, or else you would stand up. Because of that reason, Minecraft stairs won't work. Here I demonstrated that. Keep in mind, glowstone is a transparent block, and because of that, walking downwards isn't possible here with that setup. But making half-slab stairs makes the tunnel very long. Now I show you how you can use ladders between two one-high tunnels. For just only going up, it's quite simple. You can just lead the tunnel into the ladder. And on top, of course, you need the 3 high space to be able to jump. I'm inside the tunnel, and now if you want to leave it again, you can just make a drop shoot, and if you want to stop the fall damage, you can use vines. Be aware of it that vines can grow, and I use those 2 signs up here. They must be a 3 high that you still are capable of jumping here. If you want to go the same ladder up and down, you just have to make a simple adjustment, like I did here. You have to remove those 2 blocks, and that's basically everything. Because now you can come up like before, and if you are down, you are capable of jumping and don't get interrupted by the ladders. And one funny thing I found out while testing is that you can make a pit inside the tunnel where you can cross, or if you stand on the wrong place, you can fall through. For that, you just have to you just have to alternate between wooden fence and nether brick fences. Be aware that you have to raise the ceiling by a half a block because the fences are 1.5 blocks high, but I did that with the entire tunnel here. And you can also make a 1 high tunnel with 4 stairs. And with that, you can integrate them in interesting ornaments, like I did here. That is the end of my tutorial. Have a nice week, Benny.